All right. First person on the panel. State your name. Who's this? Your mic is your mic open? Oh, your mic's on. I give Ramit to get a mic situate. Make sure you guys hit the like button.
Oh,
Share.
hey, Chaos, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, Chaos, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Chaos, oh my God. Okay, where do I begin with this? First of all, good
Wait,
hearing
wait,
from you.
before you get in, let everybody know
Uh-huh.
who is speaking, because no one doesn't know who this is. State
Oh,
the
yes. Hey, Chaos, yes, it's Pat from Chicago. How you doing, Miss Pat from Chicago? You know,
excellent.
yes, thank you. So, Chaos, thanks for letting me up.
Mm-hmm.
This topic has been intriguing me. Of course, as you say, it's kind of gone viral. But being the woman here, I know there's Queens there, so she's also in the building and in the house. But I think a lot of times men, and I understand why you guys can only see things from your perspective. Like women, we can only see things from our perspective because we're not men and you guys are not women. But I think where the bridge has to, where people can come together is we have to empathize. There's things that you guys go through as men. Cass, it may be something you could sit here and say, hey, as a man, this is what I go through. Because I'm a woman, I can't know what that feels like. I can't know what that means like. I can't know what that is like, right? But here's
Mm-hmm.
what I can do. My humanity would tell me, okay, I'm not a man. So
Mm-hmm.
whether I think it's preposterous, whether I think it's silly, whether I think it's far-fetched, whether I think it's just dismissive, my humanity would tell me that, okay, I'm not a man. So let me at least empathize to the point of what Chaos is saying, being
Mm-hmm.
a man in the world, moving and, having his being in the world. I have to give him some validation on what that means for him. It may not be my situation, but I can empathize. And I think a lot of times what happens is I think when women are saying things, too many times, too often, men are so quick to be dismissive. Oh, that's silly. Oh my God. But try to have empathy. And it's like the only time I think men tend to wear the cap of empathy is when it's women that are personal to them. Oh, my girlfriend, my wife, my mom, my aunt, my niece, my daughter, my sister. And I think that men have to expand their heart and mind of empathy. And that's the first thing I want to say, because again, I hear men talking about stuff all the time. And I'm like, that sounds totally ridiculous to me. But then I have to say, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not a guy. So what may be problems that you guys are dealing with, and too often I would say this, sometimes women, we are dismissive of you guys' challenges and trials and tribulations that are specific to men. And I think that's not right. I think it's not right when women are like, oh, men don't go through anything. But men, you guys do go through things. So I think where we can grow and heal, we have to have the heart of empathy and a mind of empathy. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say and speak to is the context of what it's saying. There's very few women, with the exception, I think, of that one lady, and I think she's missing the context. No one is talking about women wanting to have sex with bears. No one is talking about women wanting to date a bear.
You
No
know,
one is talking about
we could use the word intercourse.
well,
I'm
intercourse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be creative with this one. Go ahead.
Okay, I see what you said. Right, right. We're having coitus. Let's get all the way scientific. No one is talking about having those type of relations with the bear. With the context, the heart of that question, when it first hit the internet, was this: ladies, do you feel safer? And over time, it's been kind of pared down and watered down to get into something else.
Hmm? Hello? Is that me? Is that my mic? Hello? 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 Hold on.
I can hear
Can you
you.
hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you. Okay,
uh,
Chaos, can you hear me? Okay,
yeah, because
so
it paused
yeah,
for
it paused. Yeah, I'm sorry because someone was trying to get on my other line. So I'm on my phone. So what I'm saying is that originally the question originally hit the internet. Ladies, the full question: who or what would you feel safer in a wooded area with? Would you feel safer with a bear? In terms of that setting, or would you feel safer in a wooded area with a man that you did not know? So that was the real truest heart of the context. people, when they responded to this, women by and large, overwhelming, including myself, including, I'm going to tell you 99% of the women are going to say the bear, not because we think all guys are bad, which was the reason why I don't understand why guys are getting upset about it. We're not saying all men are bad. We're saying if a woman, not a man, if a woman is alone and she finds herself in a wooded area, and there is a man who's there, who's a strange man, not someone she knows, not someone she has familiarity with, but just some strange guy. The thought of a woman's mind and of our life is this: I am going to be more concerned about that strange man. Here's why. Because unless I can, if the man is showing me that he can maybe give me some kind of vibe that he's not there to hurt me in many ways, then okay. But if I'm seeing a strange guy, I now know, okay, if this guy is one of the weirdos, if he is one of the creeps, I have less of a chance. Yeah,
I have two people in the panel, so if you could,
okay, so I'm gonna make it quick.
If you could shorten it or make it in a complex, because
I got you, Chaos. So let me just wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. So the point of the context is this: it's about survival. It's not about relationships. It's about, and I would tell you, if every woman would be honest, she would say yes, because the bear. Sometimes you can scare off an animal. Sometimes you can kind of play dead and the animal will kind of get around you. Sometimes you can do things to avert an animal from harming you. But that animal's job would be, hey, you're looking like my dinner tonight. But with a strange man, and if he has any ill-hearted intention, this guy is not just going to want to sit here and make me be his dinner. He's going to devalue me. He's going to degrade me. He's going to do all kind of disgusting things and then unalive me. So I'm saying, men, please look at us with the heart of empathy and don't be so quick to dismiss it as something really very childish. I'm done.
Okay. Well, like I said, Miss Pat, you know me as a man, like most men. I do hear you. I deal with anything that comes to my mouth. I had to deal with the rationale and logic of anything, personally. And I when I hear these conversations, Miss Pat, and trust me, a lot of people say dumb stuff, weirdo stuff, just to get attention, personally, and that's fine. But my biggest issue is when things like this should not even noticed, but what it considered viral. And let's know, saying where's the rationale and logic of a lot of people, especially women that either it's a good thing or even parry on these same conversations. Even dudes that sitting there, and let me tell you something, any dude that sits and say that they're right on it, always gotta look at who's his audience, because we gotta look at, as men, we gotta deal with the environment accordingly. And one thing we don't deal with, we don't mess with, is we don't mess with wild animals, especially with black men. Now, other groups of people, men, probably will mess with it because it's like a front and like it's some type of how you could say it, to get a certain rocks off or get an adrenaline rush. But as black men, we don't sit there are so lenient or fond of dealing with wild domestic animals like that, So when we hear these conversations and women are either advocating or really think this is the way to go and this is rationalizing and really rationalize this nonsense, I gotta look at them as weirdos. But that's just my perspective.
But do you understand the perspective of what I was saying? Do you get what I am saying?
I follow. And I follow not what you said.
I know you can't relate to it because you're not a woman. But what I'm trying to tell you, okay, let me ask you this. If you and I are walking down the street at 10 o'clock at night, name any major city, I'm here in Chicago. Do you fear me or do I fear you? And it's just the two of us walking down the street of Chicago at 10 o'clock at night. Do you fear me or do I fear you?
I'm gonna give you a general answer, and I said this early in the stream. Violence, Miss Pat.
I want you to answer specific, Chaos. I heard what you said. As a man and a woman, do you fear me or do I fear you?
That's my answer. We live in a violent world. This is America. This is the West.
I get all that. It could be anywhere in the world. As a man and a woman.
So hold on, Miss Pat. So to conclude, to answer your question,
I'm
not, and this is not typical. I'm giving you the honest opinion about how the world works.
I'm not even worried. What do you feel? What do you feel?
I don't feel nothing. I operate.
Right. Exactly. You would not fear me, but I would fear you. I would fear you. Exactly.
The world works.
Exactly. I would fear you, but you would not fear me.
If you're woman, if you understand, it's like most men understand this. I'm about to do speak in a second. That this is not a nice world we live in, especially when we talk about as black folks. As small population, we deal amongst monsters, criminals, and very much crazy, wild people that operate and don't use rational. They deal with non-consequence overall on the average. The dudes that come here and sit there and are brave with deal of violence, they're already at a point out of their damn mind or some other rational problems they have. But we can notice because this is how the society is constructed, especially living in a industrial society, which is known prone. Miss Pat, you live in a city, prone for violence. You get me? So if you're a woman, especially, and you understand the environment, you will be very really lenient to operate in this environment today, personally, because this world is not a nice place; it's a violent place, and it's even especially uncertain in an environment which is very high industrial and technized that you always got to be on your guard and cautious. Especially,
are you on guard?
Stop. I gotta let everybody speak.
Right, but Chaos, I asked you the question,
stop.
And you didn't answer it though.
Miss Pat, I gotta let somebody else talk. I already
right, but you didn't answer the question, Chaos.
My answer is: this is a dangerous world, so I don't leave off no man, no woman. Period.
So you're gonna be afraid of me? Okay.
No, I would be afraid of anybody right now. The way how this country and this world is operating right now. Period. If I had to be really honest. But as a man, I gotta move according to the environment. Who's next in the panel? Kenneth, right? You there? Kenneth.
Yes. Hey, how you doing? I am here.
What's good? What's on your mind, brother?
Hey.
Can you add on to the subject and topic at hand if you can?
Yes, I will add on to it. First, let me say, Miss Pat, I am familiar with you, and I've listened to some of your talking points on other panels. I will say that I think out of all the women that and these panels that you frequent, out of all the women that I've seen, I think you are the most fair. You know, sometimes I hear some of the stuff you say, and maybe I think it's a little outlandish, but still, I do think you are far and away the most fair. Right?
I try to be fair. Thank you.
I do believe that. So I'm saying that is to say, I think what you're saying right here, from your perspective, maybe it's genuine, but with all due respect, I think this is one of the most ridiculous. I don't know how this thing has gotten this far, right? I mean, it's I guess it's interesting to have this kind of a conversation, but to be honest with you, I believe that any individual, man or woman, that says they are more willing to take their chance with a freaking bear in the woods, I don't care where it is, over a human being, is that's nonsense.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? If you find yourself, and I understand why you're saying that, and thank you for sharing that. I try to be impartial, and I try to see both sides. So thank you. And I think that's where you guys sometimes are not possibly empathizing with the side of a woman. Men are naturally bigger, stronger. We're a third of you guys' strength, height, weight. Anatomically, we're not built in a way that I can physically overtake you in a sensual way as adults. Now, we're not talking about children and younger people. We're talking about man to woman, woman to man. Physically, I'm not anatomically built to do that. So I can understand why, from a man's perspective, you guys would be like, oh, heck yeah, give me the bear. But I think if you would rephrase that question, would you feel more fear stumbling into the woods, running up on a woman versus a bear? Well, of course, you're going to be like, shoot, the bear is horrible. I'd rather stumble upon a woman. But what I'm telling you, what women we're saying from our context is, hey, if I stumble upon a man in the woods, I feel just almost in some ways even more afraid of that man, because here's what I have to fear about the bear. I have to fear that, guess what? The bear is going to make me his lunch or his dinner, but I may have a way to kind of maneuver out of that. There may be a way. However, if I'm running into a man who, like I said, who has ill-hearted intentions, how do I maneuver out of that?
Okay, can I respond to?
Sure, please. Yes, I really want a response.
Well, I mean, first of all, from a statistical standpoint, are men more violent to women, or are they more violent to other men? Which
Well,
one?
I think men are more violent to both. I even said that in the chat. Men have to fear men. I would
Hold on,
agree.
because
Men
see,
have to fear
hold
men.
on, right? I understand, but hold on, but see, because Miss Pat, with all due respect, when you asked Chaos a similar question,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted a direct answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not giving me a direct answer.
Okay, rephrase.
Men,
Re-say your
okay,
question. I'm sorry.
so are men
Mm-hmm.
more violent to other men,
Mm-hmm.
or because I'm going back to the bear thing, but are
Mm-hmm.
men more violent to other men, or are they more violent to women?
I would say to men. I would definitely say to
Okay.
men, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ask that question with regards to if I'm walking in the woods and I see a bear and you talking about the dynamics of an animal in that capacity that could run about 35 miles an hour, even though they're like 800 pounds, right? And have the strength of like 15 men and claws and everything and fangs and teeth and all these things that go along with it. And you're asking me if I'm, even still, if I'm in a position where I'm running up on another man who
But
is
I didn't ask
more like,
men. I said a woman. I said if you stumbled upon a
right, but
woman, you
I
wouldn't
understand.
fear that.
Guys, 1 second. Andre, is that you on the panel? I just want to double check. Andre.
Right, but I just want to put it back in context. I didn't say.
I got this. Wait. Is that you, Andre?
Yeah,
All right, that's good. All right, continue, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll just be real quick. All I'm saying is I think that when we got into this point, I think this is, uh I think you're taking it too far. I mean, I understand that everybody has their issues. I think like what Cal said earlier, I mean, really, I'm a stats guy, and statistically speaking, women are just as likely to assault men as men are, or more likely actually to assault men than men are to assault women. I think we focus in on the fact that men can do more damage, but then now we're going back to a situation with a bear. I'm gonna finish it up here. When you're talking about the likelihood, you're talking in respective to situations where you're around other men daily. If you are in a situation where you're around those kind of animals, why do you think other animals run from bears? I mean, this is really not really, to me. I don't know. It's just mind boggling that we've
But you
gotten
do
to this point.
understand a bear can't sexually assault me and
Okay, so,
do all
well, I'm
sorts
not.
of other things to me and then unalive me. This is what we're talking about. You do understand that, guess what? Again, you put it in context of men, but I said if you came across a strange woman, and we're not talking about women who know men. Yes, in domestic issues, women can be equally as violent as men in domestic issues. But keep in mind, they know there's a knowing there. We're talking about strangers. That's why I said chaos. If I'm walking down the streets of Chicago at 10 o'clock at night, let's just keep it a buck. Do you fear me or do I fear you? I'm going to fear him. Now, he may be God's angel sent from heaven, but because I'm a woman, I'm walking down these streets at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to naturally just say, hopefully this guy is a good guy. You're not going to think, hopefully she's a good girl. You're not going to think that. But I'm telling you, let's not be so quick to dismiss women, what we feel, because we do have a real sentiment of having to know there are guys out there. We're talking about stranger danger. We're not talking about guys that we potentially know. That's the issue of the context.
Okay. Kenneth, let me see if anybody's on there. Hustle Mustard there.
I'm here.
All right. I'm not sure how long you've been listening to my dissertation of this topic. Can you lay out from what you heard so far?
My God. Please tell me this stuff is not for real. Women liking bears? It is some sort of phony AI program, or AI that they put together, put the women's likeness in it. What's going on here?
I mean, you see the unique artwork of it. This is, and now mind you, let's be honest, these are bears. You think bears gonna be that comfortable with a woman the way it is?
Nope.
All right.
If anything, she'll bite her face off before anything. I'm just saying.
It's not a real image. This is not a real image. You get me?
Yep.
So, matter of fact, I just saw one video on TikTok and it looked like the woman's Russian. She was hugging all up on a bear in some force, and Russia, they do some weird things. They wrestle with animals. So I ain't gonna go into that. But go ahead.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna say that too. In Russian, they're more friendly with the bears.
Say something.
Well, Chaos, can I say this
No.
real quick? Because
No. I gotta let House speak because it's somewhat of an order potentially, and I don't want to skip orders. So when he's finished, I'll let you speak.
You hopped up after me. But good though, Hustle.
Say what now?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, this
My fault, though. Good.
Mhm.
now to piggyback on what the young lady was saying. Well, not piggyback, but to respond to what she was saying. Who's more dangerous? Who's more of a threat, a man or an animal? Well, in hindsight, you would think an animal because at least humans you can kind of make out whether they're a threat or not. But at least with an animal, whether it be a bear, a tiger, a lion, you assume off rip they're gonna be a threat. They want to eat you alive. Heck, a dog can probably give off that same vibe. So they're both a threat, but on different levels. I'd be more scared of a bear breaking into my house trying to eat me alive than I would a man breaking into my house trying to rob me. At least I can get my
Because you're a
firearm and
man,
do some
you can
damage.
contend with him. Because you can contend with someone who's about your same height, your same strength. You can contend. I'm 1/3 of your strength, sir. I'm probably 1/3 of your height, sir.
But you picked the
Actually,
bear,
I'm 5
Pat.
foot 6 inches, 170 pounds, so I can
Right, but
fight and I'll get a
but guess
firearm and do
what?
some damage if need
But guess
be.
what? Maybe if I have a knapsack with me, and maybe if I got some Cheetos and maybe some ham sandwiches, maybe if I throw that in one direction, maybe the bear will say, "Hey, she's distracting me," and go over there. But if I can have my backpack on with a ham sandwich, and if this guy is a weirdo creep, he's going to take me over. You guys have no connection to what that means.
You might just take your food and run away with it. I don't know.
No. Like, there's an important thing that needs to be addressed. She's talking about like she's a third of the size of a man. So like I'm 6 foot personally. So if you're a third shorter than me, that would
I'm
make you
5'4", sir. I'm 5'4". So right there, I'm no match for you, height wise. You've already
I'm
got me
5'6"
beat.
and a half.
No.
But even if you're taller, even if we're the same height, you have more strength. So you guys have
That's
even
true,
more
that-
strength.
No. Let me finish here. Because
Go ahead.
I heard that wrong. So she said she's a third shorter. So that means you'd be what, 4.5 feet? Said you're 5'4".
Well, I'm sorry, I'm using that as come on. I'm just saying that just as subjective.
If we do
Talking about
measurements,
women in general.
you're
Let's not
probably
be
roughly,
ridiculous.
if we do measurements, you're like 6 inches taller than her. But besides the point, continue, Andre.
Right. Thank you, Chaos.
No, like that would make her 1.5 feet short.
Sir, let's just go to the point. I said that as being subjective. Please.
Well, let me finish my point. My point is effectively that would make you a midget because you'd be 4.5 feet if you're a third.
Oh my God. Okay.
I don't think that that's what she was implying.
Right. This guy is not trying to have a serious conversation, sir. I just used that as saying
But
that
anyway,
women are
exactly
naturally
what you were
smaller. Right. Please don't be obtuse.
Like the point that I'm making, that you're making like these extreme exaggerations.
What's an extreme exaggeration?
I mean, I can understand if you're a female and you're 5'4" you damn right you're gonna be scared of someone twice your size. That makes plenty of sense to me, especially if she ain't got a weapon on her. At least I can be on some Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan type stuff and fight my way out of it. So hey, but do that with a wild bear. No, that ain't happening.
Like the point that I'm trying to make is like we're listening to people making these arguments. They're talking about they're a third smaller than men, and for a guy like me, the average guy is not 5'5".
Oh my God, sir!
Specifically.
Okay, so basically,
this guy's still talking about height. Go ahead, sir.
I'm talking about height to show the point of like how.
Sir, that's not the point of the conversation. Do you not understand when someone gives just an example of something? What we're talking about? What are you saying, sir?
You keep interrupting me every time I speak. It's like you're trying to redirect the conversation. I understand that. You have to do that, right? Because then it would expose that you don't know what you're talking about. Like you said,
someone who's steadily talking about height. Sir, what are you saying anything to me? Go ahead.
Me again.
Oh, me? Oh, okay.
No, she was.
Yeah.
She just interrupted me again. Because like every time I speak, actually,
sir, I'm not saying anything right
ahead,
now.
continue.
What is your point?
Go ahead.
The guy next to me, continue.
Oh, hey, wait! Before we continue, a brief intermission. 1 second.
My money. I told you. Where is my money? Benny. Bring me everyone. I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean, everyone?
All right. Yeah, make sure you guys like the stream and please donate with the super chat or cash app to the Chaos Range stream. And you know, obviously these are usual topics and conversations, but nonetheless, this is the conversation of the internet. So, like I said, the titles: choosing bear over man, is it right? I mean, is the docket. And I haven't really given my answer to that, but like I said, I let the crowd be more of the answer. And I see people in the chat room, right? Wait, what's this?
I just don't believe this is real, honestly.
Wait, let me see what
Yeah.
Queen Virtue wrote. I live out in the country near a woodsy area. We see bears all the time. They come in the yard sometimes if they smell food real outside, but when they see people or cars, like they run. Yeah. And you gotta understand the reason why they'll run Queen Virtue is because there's a crowd of people. And usually they're not gonna sit there be bold to be put themselves in a position where if they're gonna start unaliving people, they know there's other humans gonna be around to really
Chaos Brain actually, like,
Mhm.
typically the way the question is phrased is
Yeah.
would you prefer to be with a bear in the woods or a man in the woods? So like you
Mhm.
you literally just like fucking kill that whole argument because she's making a straw man talking about like you know, like living in the city or wherever she lives.
There is no straw man, sir. I actually started out talking about the wooded area. And the one gentleman who said, you know, Miss Pat, you are a very fair person. What I was saying, if you put it even in context with the man, I can understand why a man would say, hey, I would rather face off with another human. But what I am saying is this: if a man runs up on a woman in the woods versus a bear, he's absolutely not going to have any fear pretty much about what that woman's going to do. However, if a woman runs up on a man by herself, I'm going to say this and I'm going to hush, go back on mute. If a woman runs up in a wooded area by herself and she sees a man, she knows she's in just as much danger, in some cases, possibly even more, of what this strange man may potentially do to her. Now, that's just a point blank period.
Okay, are you done now? Okay, so
Are
I'm
you?
not sure.
Please begin.
You interrupt me every 10 seconds I speak. It's really annoying, and you're doing it intentionally because you don't want to hear a real argument. You just want to rant. But the point that I was trying to make is that unless you are Queen of Virtue, she's talking about she lives out in the country in a woodsy area, which like technically you could say that's like, you know, like in the woods or whatever, but like you're not actually in the woods. Like the question is phrased as if like they were like walking in the woods, not like you lived in the outskirts of a city somewhere.
If you could limit, that'd be better. But go ahead, just give me a heads up. Go ahead, continue.
So it's phrased as like you're living in like the outskirts of some random fucking place somewhere. Oh, sorry, I said it again. In the outskirts of a random place somewhere. So there's a difference because if you're living on the outskirts, like obviously, you know, like yes, they could still come around your property, whatever, but they're more likely to not like F with you living in a scenario like that than being in the woods. Because in the woods, like you think these wild bears that never been around humans are gonna just be scared and run away. Like I'm pretty sure they would like to disembowel you and eat you rather than just like you know, you could scare them off because they've seen you because you're in the wild now. Now you're not talking about like, you know, like no city lights, no fires, none of that. You're in the woods. I'm not even sure why like this is an argument to be had, but some people think it makes sense to them anyways.
Okay. Anybody else? Kenneth or Hustler? You know?
Yeah, like I said, I just think it's a ridiculous proposition as far as I'm concerned. I mean, even relative to you know, this logic that, you know, men can do more damage to women. So what could a bear do? I mean, you know, like when you go camping, you come, oh, I just throw some Cheetos out. They say don't. I'm not taking that kind of a chance. I mean, we're talking about a situation where if you are actually out there with these wild animals, and forget it, don't got to be a bear. Like somebody was saying earlier, I've seen foxes. and I saw a video the other day where a man was trying to feed a fox. So there's your Cheeto argument, was trying to, and that fox attacked him. You know, a fox. And you got to understand, like when the sister was talking about, like, you know, being assaulted, you know, even not just physically, but, you know, in another manner that I don't know if you can say that on YouTube, but you think you guys get my drift. Again, you're more concerned about that than you are getting mauled by a bear?
Yes, yes. As a woman, we are. Yes. And that's sad that you would even hold on. That's sad that you even laugh about that. That's sad that you would even laugh about that, sir. Because as a woman, yes, I am afraid of someone wanting to take my dignity as a woman against my will. I'm sorry that you as a man, you don't have to fear that. Pretty much as a grown adult man from a woman.
But it's not necessarily that. It's just okay. I think that if I could just, I'm sorry, brother, just real quick. I'll be real quick. I don't know if you guys can remember. This was years ago. I guess there was this woman that owned a baboon or something like that she owned, right? And I guess this animal was domesticated, but technically you're never domesticating these wild animals, right? And if I'll go look it up. For some reason, I guess this baboon or whatever, was some kind of a monkey, attacked her, right? And you can hear her friend calling 911 saying this animal was chewing her face up. You can see pictures of this woman. She is so disfigured to this day that she can never get that back. And the point I'm trying to make is you're talking about these animals have insane amounts of strength, right? And power. And you're saying that you would take your chances with these kind of animals, even as a woman, you know what you would have a better chance of fighting off a man that's trying to assault you than you would. Yes, you would. That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Let me ask the question. You're telling me a 5'4" woman who's 160 pounds can fight off, let's say a 6'5", 6'6" man who's 250. I have just as much chance with the bear.
Well,
hold on.
Use a weapon of some sort. Pepper spray, bat, whatever.
Hold on. You got to listen. Hold on. Let me see. Because again, I think Miss Pat, listen, you are comparing, let's just say a man Shaq size, 7 feet, 300 pounds. Right?
That's a bear to me.
No, well, okay, well that's to you. That doesn't matter to you.
That's the most women.
Well, okay, but hold on. I understand, Miss Pat, but we're talking about an animal that could be standing on its hind legs is like 8 or 9 feet and like 800 pounds.
But you do understand, though, with the man also comes the other issue, right? You understand that's the whole context of what women are saying.
I understand. So that's
the heart of the issue.
Okay. So you're saying you're not. The issue. So, well, I mean, I understand that's you. So you're more concerned about
that's women. That's women. That's the context. Even the young lady that Chaos played, the one who was kind of laying in the bed, he said she was a biracial young woman. She even explained that. Y'all not hearing that because there's no empathy there. But I can guarantee you, ask the women in your family, ask the women that you care about to see what they would say.
I think, Miss Pat, you're not having empathy. Like I gave you the example of that woman that got attacked by that monkey. And I think you are undermining what she's had to go through in her life, even though she wasn't assaulted in that way.
Sir, no, we know that an animal can hurt people.
But Miss Pat, you're trying to draw a parallel between getting physically assaulted and getting, Chaos. Can I say that?
Assaulted. Yeah, I think that's fine. I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
he's talking about SA. He's talking about SA. You can say SA.
Can I? Okay, SA. Okay, so physically assaulted and then SA.
Oh, you mean taking their innocence? Yeah, you could say taking their innocence.
Okay, taking their innocence, right? Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I'm saying you're trying to make an argument, Pat, that it sounds like one is worse than the other. I think they both are bad, equally bad, right?
Well, you can't say that because you're not a woman. You don't live with that threat.
I didn't say. Hold on. That's why I said I think, but it doesn't matter. I mean, hold on, but right. But you got to understand that even though I'm a man, both things can happen to me as well. Right, but you're undermining the fact that because you might be more willing to be mauled by a bear than being essayed by a man,
Mhm.
right? I mean, that's you. I don't know how many women would be willing to take
Oh,
their
ask them.
chances.
Ask
Okay,
them.
well, you know what? I mean, like,
Ask the
you know what?
women.
I'm gonna
Ask
look
the
up the
women in your
women.
personal
Okay,
circle.
okay,
Ask
all
them.
right,
Ask
okay.
the ladies that you care about and that you know,
Hmm.
and say, hey,
Hmm.
listen, would you be safer running into a strange man in a very, it doesn't have to be the woods, it could be on a street, wherever, would you feel safer? Sometimes even when I'm on an elevator, when it's with a man, I make sure I go all the way up to the front of the door. If I'm on an elevator with a strange man, he could be black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, it doesn't matter. I do that. Every woman does that. I even pay attention how every woman does it, no matter what age or race. Women, we have to think about you all that way. Doesn't mean that all of you are like that. To be honest, I think most men are not out here trying to hurt women. Thank God. Thank God. But what I am saying is, let's not be so dismissive and pretend like the guys who are out here doing what they're doing are not doing what they're doing, and making it clear that we have to take certain precautions as women that you may not have to take. That's a fact.
Correction. We do take the same precautions that women take. I don't
So
leave
you're
my
so,
house without. I don't leave my house without something to fight
sir,
with, just
I'm
in
not
case something
talking
do pop
about
off.
that. I'm talking about essay. Are you concerned about a woman essaying you? I'm not talking about within
Nope,
the same
not really.
gender. Thank you. I'm talking about across the gender. That's
What?
what I'm referring to here. You're not worried about a woman tackling you in the middle of the night if you're walking down the street going to get you a Subway sandwich. But I have
Well,
to
that
be
may be
worried
true,
about
but I
that.
got to worry about something else. What if she make a false allegation against me and said I did something
Well,
when I didn't do a
well,
damn thing to
sir,
her? That can
come
happen too,
on.
you know.
Now, come on, sir. Now that's a straw man. I'm
What?
talking about,
Wait,
can we
hello,
just
hello,
stick
hello.
to the
I got you.
context? Can we just stick to the context, sir?
Hello,
Let's
hello,
just
hello,
let's
hello,
just
hello,
stick to the
hello.
I'm just
context.
Pat,
asking.
Pat, hello, hold on, guys. I
But
gotta do this again. I gotta do this again.
My money.
I told you.
Benny, bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean, everyone?
like,
Oh, stop. I'm past a certain mark. I have not seen that one people donate yet. I would surely appreciate it to keep this going. I'm going to observe in another few more minutes. There's somebody throw something into the pot of the stream. I would surely appreciate it. On that, I'm already past my time on it. I could end this sooner. So before I do, I'm gonna give people more time. A little bit, when after that, I'm probably depending who's gonna contribute. The stream might still keep going, but we'll see. I seen the person in the panel. Ryan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What do you have to contribute or say to today's title?
Listen, there's no point in dragging this conversation out. If you ladies really feel that way, I double dog, triple dog dare you to take your ass over to the wilderness.
If we could limit.
Sorry. I double dog, triple dog dare y'all to go and take your butts over there to the wilderness and live with the bears then. If y'all really feel that way. Here are your options. You either get a gun, take a self-defense class, or get you a man, or do all three.
Well, I actually am a gun. I'm a conceal and carry. You better believe it.
Okay, good.
You better believe it.
That being said, those are your options because men aren't going anywhere. It
Well,
is what it
but
is.
can I ask you a question? Why are you so offended if we're talking
No,
about the
I'm not
bad
even,
guys?
it's to the point I'm not even offended. It's
Okay.
a stupid conversation.
But it's stupid for you, sir, because you're not a woman and you are not trying to
senseless
empathize.
conversation.
Sir,
If you really
sir.
feel that way, then go.
Well, sir, listen,
Those
we're
are your
not talking
choices.
about going to the woods. You totally are missing the context because you have no empathy about it, because you're choosing to be obtuse.
Because
You're choosing to
the
look at it.
same men who gave you context to our situation, because men are just as subject to violence against men. Do you hear
And I
us
said
saying
that. And I said that.
But do you hear us
I
saying
said that.
do you hear a movement about us going to live with a bunch of lions? Yes or no?
Sir, that's not I didn't hear about a
asked you a
movement. Wait, you're
question.
saying there's
Men
wait.
are just as prone
Calm
to
down,
violence.
sir. Sir, I'm trying to ask you a question. You're saying that there's a movement of women trying to move with bears? I'm just trying to get some clarity. You said
If
there's a
this is the
movement?
context, because at the end of the day, y'all are talking about y'all would choose a bear over a man. At this
No,
point,
that's
there's
not what,
nothing left to
sir,
say.
that's not what they're saying. Oh my God. Lord, am I talking to adults? The context is survival. Would you have more chance of survival with the bear versus a human
So, in other
man?
words, you feel safer with the bear over a
No,
man.
you feel you
That's
have
the
more of a
context.
chance to survive, sir.
No,
Because guess
no,
what?
no, no, no. That is not the context. I've
That
heard
is the
you are not
context.
the
That is
first woman I've
absolutely the
heard to talk
context.
about this crap. At the end
Sir,
of the day,
I
if
challenge
you
you to
feel
go and look
safer
at
with
the
the bear,
original
then go
context.
date the bear. It's
Why are you
simple.
talking about dating? Who's talking about dating?
If you feel safer with the bear, the
Sir,
point
are you
is
weird?
y'all are
Are you
saying
weird?
y'all
Sir, no one's
feel
talking
safer
about
with the bear.
dating.
Yes or no?
Sir, do
Is
you know,
that
are
not the
you,
context?
say what?
I
What?
answered
Say
your
it again.
question. I'm going to
No,
ask you a
you
question.
ask
Do
me the
y'all feel
question.
safer with the bear? Yes or no? Do you feel safe with the bear? Yes or no?
What?
Good. Take your ass off and go live with the bear then. I hope you went
Why
to go
are you
live with
so
the bear.
offended? No, let me ask you a question. Why are you so offended? Are you one of the
I am
bad
not
guys that we need
offended.
to
It's just
fear?
a stupid
No.
conversation.
No. Are you one of the bad guys? Because what I notice is some men totally get it. They'll say, yeah, I understand why my daughter would say that. I understand why my wife would say something like that. But
And
you,
I would
sir, are
say the
taking a
very
personal
same
offense.
thing
Why
to if
is
my
that?
sister or if I had a daughter. If you really feel that way, you get a gun, you take a self-defense class, or you get you a man, or you do all three. I would say the exact same
Sir,
thing.
so the question that we're talking about, though, is about survival. You're talking about dating bears, having bear movements, which is totally just beyond ignorance to me. And I don't even understand where that would even enter the picture. But we're talking about women in terms of feeling safe and in terms of her survival.
And I
That's
just
really the
said,
context.
and you literally just said what I asked you. So what you're pretty much stressing to us is you feel safer among a bear than a
I feel
man.
I
You
would feel I
just
would have a
said it.
better chance of survival. I don't know if I would be
You
safer,
also
but I feel
just
I have a
used the
better
word
chance of
safer, did you
survival.
not? Did you
Say
not
what?
just use the word safer? Did
I
you not
said
just use the word
I
safer?
didn't. I said listen to me because I see that this may. I have to say this slower for
You
you.
just,
I
I
just
asked you a
said.
simple question,
I
ma'am.
would
Do you feel
listen,
safer
sir.
with the bear? Yes or no? Do you feel safer with the bear?
I
Yes
didn't
or
even
no?
respond. I didn't even respond. Play it back, chaos. I didn't even respond because I know it
Do,
was totally stupid.
did you
What I
not
just said is,
just
I said
say,
I can't
you know what?
say.
You know what?
Hold
I'm
on.
just
I
going to
said
ask
I
the fellas.
can't say. I
Fellas,
said I can't say.
no,
Oh
ma'am,
no!
no,
One
Now
at a
you're
ma'am.
trying to
time,
get
I'm going
help.
to ask
please.
the men. I'm
Sir,
going to
you
ask the
don't need
men.
help, sir. You
I'm
don't need
going to
help from
ask the
the.
men.
You don't
I'm
need
going to
help
ask
from
the
the men.
men.
I'm going to
Did she
finish my
not just
thought,
say,
sir. I didn't say
you know what?
anything.
Chaos. Chaos.
Chaos,
Hold
did
on,
I
Chaos.
even answer it?
guys.
Chaos.
Hold on, relax. Breathe.
I didn't even answer it,
Chaos, I'm
sir.
going to ask you a question, Chaos. I'm going to ask
Yeah.
you a simple question because I know you heard her loud and clear. Did she
I didn't
not
say
just
anything.
use the word safer?
I
Yes
used
or
the word
no?
safer, but this is what I said. If
I
you'll
asked
listen, I
Chaos. I
said
didn't ask you.
wait. No, I'm
I
going to
asked
say my
Chaos,
sentence
ma'am. I
because,
asked
sir,
Chaos, ma'am. I
I'm
asked Chaos.
gonna
I
say
didn't
this.
ask
I'm gonna
you.
say this, and I'm not gonna speak for anybody. But you asked the question. If you didn't get the answer line, then that pretty much concludes your answer. We don't want to keep going back and forth because it's now become goofy now. Personally, I don't mind the back for. Well, let's be honest. You asked the question, and the answer was never the question or answer. So that should give you an answer already. Personally,
She just said the word safer. Did
I
she not
said
use it?
safer, sir. I said I can't say I would be safer, but I would feel that I would have a better chance of survival. That's what I said.
No, you just used the
I
word
used the word safer,
you
but I said
said
I
safer
can't
and
say I would
survival.
be
In other
safer.
words, you feel safer.
Sir,
If
how
that's
much
how you really
education do you
feel,
have?
if
Sir,
that's
how much,
how you
sir,
really
what's your highest
feel,
level of
if that's
education?
how you really
Sir,
feel,
what's your
then go
highest level of
ahead.
education here?
If that's how you feel, then go ahead. I'm not even insulting you. I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel that way.
What's your highest
Clearly,
level
you're
of
not listening to
education?
me either.
No,
So
I'm
clearly, you're
listening.
not listening to
Oh,
me.
I'm
If you
listening.
really
You're not
feel that
understanding.
way, if
What is
y'all
your
feel that
highest
way,
level of
then go be with the
education
bear.
here? Sir, what is your highest level
If
of
you really
education?
feel that way, go
No,
be
I
with the
want you to
bear.
answer me. What is your highest level of education?
What the hell does that have to do with this conversation, ma'am?
I'm going somewhere
That
with it.
has
What's your
nothing to
highest
do with
level
the
of
conversation,
education?
ma'am.
Oh, it
My
has
highest
something to do
level
with
of
comprehension.
education,
It has
that is
something to do with
nothing but a sign
comprehension.
language
It has
tactic,
something to
and
do with
now you're just
comprehension
being
and
goofy
cognitive
and being
skills.
obtuse
What's your
just for
highest
the
level of
sake of being
education?
obtuse. This
What's
has
your
nothing to
highest
do with
level
the
of education?
conversation. This has
What is
nothing to
your
do with the
highest level of
conversation. Now
education,
you're being
sir?
goofy. Now you're
No,
being goofy.
no, I'm being very sincere.
No,
What is your
no, you're
highest level
not.
of
No,
education?
you're not. I asked
Oh,
you
I am.
questions pertaining to the conversation.
Sir, what is your highest
This is
level of
pertaining to the
are you
subject of the
ashamed to say?
conversation.
Are you
Me
ashamed to
talking
say
about
what your
my
highest level of
education does
education
not
is?
mean
Because
anything.
here's what I understand. When you don't have certain level of education, you sometimes lack cognitive skills. Okay. And you're sometimes not understanding context, and you're sometimes not comprehending, right? So I'm trying to find out, what is your level of education?
My level of education
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with
Oh,
the
clearly it
conversation.
does. Because here's why.
No,
I
it
think
does
if you
not.
had a higher level of education, you would understand just what I was saying.
I asked you a question. Do you feel safer with the
If
bear?
you
Yes
had a
or no?
higher level of education,
I
you would
asked you a
understand
question
comprehension,
pertaining
you
to
would
the
understand
question.
better
I'm
cognitive
pertaining to the
skills,
subject.
and you would
This is
not be
nothing but an ad
presenting
hominem sign language attack. That's all it is. That's all it is.
obtuse arguments
That's
that are
all it
not
is a
cogent.
side
Do
bet.
you know
This
what I
is
just
nothing but a
told you?
troll. This
No,
has,
I'm not a
this is not
troll,
even a
sir.
real conversation.
No, we're
This is
having a real
really not even a
conversation.
conversation. This is really just a
You're
troll.
talking
This is
about
really just a
women
troll
dating
movement.
bears? How
This
how
whole bear
ridiculous!
stuff is just a troll movement. That's
And you
all it
couldn't
is.
hardly even
Y'all are
control
not
your
serious. At the
language
end of the day,
because you
y'all
were
are not
bringing the
serious.
street language. You couldn't hardly get the
Y'all
F
are
words
not
and all that.
serious.
So that
At the
speaks
end of the
also to
day,
a
y'all are
level
not
of a
even
lack
serious.
of dignified.
If y'all really
So
feel
I
that
get it.
way,
I
then
see
go.
where you are.
If
I
y'all
see where
really
you are.
feel that way, then go. I see where y'all are
I see
too.
where you are, sir. Yeah, but
I can
I would
see where
tell you,
y'all are too.
I would
Y'all
say,
feel
sir,
safe with
do
the
a
bear.
little bit
You have a
better,
higher
do a
chance of
little bit
surviving with
better,
the bear. Okay, cool.
and
The
guess what? You
only
don't have to go to
the
school,
only
but take that
response
Google internet that you're
the
looking at
only
and
response
start
is to say,
educating
okay,
yourself.
go.
Sir,
Goodbye.
start educating yourself,
If
okay?
y'all really feel that way, go.
Start
Goodbye.
educating yourself, brother. It's never too late. A
At
mind
the
is a
end of
terrible
the
thing to waste. United Negro College Fund, that your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
All right. Yeah, guys done. Good. All right, excellent. Let me see.
Chaos. Thank you, brother. I'm out.
I guess. Thank you. I guess. All right. Interesting. That was very interesting. But Line, if you ask a question and the question was never answered, that gives confirmation where it's at person, I'm not sure why education has to deal with this logic notion or this argument where you be with a slave, be with a bear,
is
or
that an 8?
so I don't know, man. It's just
Hey,
It's
Chaos,
crazy.
is that an 8 in your is that the number 8 in your name
yes,
and your Cash App name?
correct. Yes, correct. That's 8. Chaos 8 Rain. That's my Cash App. Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. Oh, and now it's starting to jump. I hope you guys liking the stream and sharing the stream since I got more people watching. Surprisingly, like I said, I didn't feel really comfortable even having this conversation, but I think the conversation need to be had personally. And I'm gonna check the notification in a second. Personally, let's keep it real. When people divulge and said now this thing about man and animal, that's where we at. I mean, I look at it overall, and in my opinion, we're already doing enough degenerate stuff in our community, and this is byproduct of other race people. But that now we talking about animals and stuff and being that's stepping into, in my opinion, bestiality now. But
because Chaos, it's nothing but a troll movement, man. If they really feel that way, the only optimal response is to say, then go. Because men are just as prone to violence. It's already statistically proven that men are just as prone to violence from other men in America. Do you hear other men talking about going to live with other animals? No.
Nope.
So it is what it is. At the end of the day, she can get a gun, she can take self-defense classes, or get a man. Either way, men are not going anywhere. Get over it.
God, he said it again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God, man.
Love animals. Get a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, but this is a stupid conversation. It's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
This conversation is beyond. Dumb. The point, but we shouldn't be entertaining this. Like, forget the context. There is no context. If she feels that she has a higher chance of survival or feels safer, which is the words that she used, then the only answer is to tell him to go, because all this sitting there psychologizing, trying to empathize with him is not going to change anything.
No, you're
Wait
right.
a minute. So she said she got a better chance survival with a bear as opposed to being with a man. Is that what she was
That is the
implying?
word she just used. She just used it when she was talking to me. She said she either feels safer or she has a higher chance of survival. Those are the words she kept saying. So if that's the case, then go to the forest and go live with the bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought
Go.
I misunderstood her, but come on. I thought she was implying that she can survive in a fight. I don't know.
No,
Because if that was,
she's
because me
saying
personally,
she
you
would
got a
feel
better chance
safer
fighting off
in
a you got a better
yeah.
chance fighting off a person than you would a wild animal. Like I said, if a man break into my house, I'm going out strapped. I'm going
Yeah.
out fighting, then call the police. But if a bear break into my crib, I'm running, calling animal control. You can't
Yes.
fight no animal.
What she
Seriously.
is pretty much saying is that she would rather be in the forest where the woods frequent than in the city with men. Pretty much. She is trading one environment for another. If she wants to talk about survival, she thinks she would be better served in the forest with the bears than live in the city or a town with men. That's pretty much the argument. And at this point, ain't nothing left men can do or say. There's nothing to do or say to that. You
I
can't do or
mean,
say
don't
that.
get me wrong. Humans and animals are equally viable. I'm not going to say
Yes.
equally viable, but they're both equally something to be feared, but on different
Yes.
levels. I mean, me personally, I'd rather get my ass beat by some thugs than to be mauled to death by a wild animal. I'd rather be in a
Exactly.
hospital. I'd rather be in a hospital than to be in the beast in the belly of some beast.
No, I do not want to be in the Congo with gorillas.
King Kong.
Absolutely not. I do not want to be in the Congo with gorillas or anywhere in the Sahara Desert where hyenas. No matter how cruel, how unsafe, even though as a man, I still got to worry about the violence of men and getting me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another point. She said she don't feel comfortable being in the elevator with a man because she worried. Well, there's something to be afraid of. Yes, if you're in the elevator, if a man's in the elevator with a woman, she got to worry about that man probably doing something, especially if he's bigger and stronger than her. But at the same time, we men got something to worry about. She could put a false allegation and get me in trouble. So we both got something to be
Exactly.
afraid of in that
Like
regard.
exactly like men are not prone to anything in their everyday lives. Like it is it is what it is.
You go
Like
to a club, you see more brawls between men than you do women.
exactly.
Hmm.
I'm
And
not
I ain't
saying
been in 17 years,
I'm
but I
not
ain't
saying
forgot.
it's she's not she doesn't have a right to have that fear. I mean it is what it is, but a bear? Okay, there's nothing to say to that except okay. Except okay, I dare you, go be with the bear then. There's nothing to say to that.
Hmm. Hope you guys.
Because it would be the same thing if say tomorrow there was this random ass thing thrown online of men saying they'd rather just pick an environment, pick a country where dangerous animal frequents and say we'd rather be there than with other women. It would sound stupid, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty much where we're at. It's just beyond It's beyond idiotic. The only reason this thing even caught fire is because of the drizzle movement, because that was taken over. So now this is the new thing to
But let me ask you a
overshadow.
question.
I can't take that seriously.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question because I'm not sure being following social media more than me online. Who really came up with this notion about this scenario about man and bear?
It was I saw that it was an interview. I don't know. I think it probably was here in the States or maybe somewhere in a city overseas, but because it was it was one of those like those like ask a public question or whatever, like it's complicated. It was one of those. And it was a video and they got shared and then it went viral and like women and then the woman he was asking, she said a bear and then it caught fire and that's what it is. I saw it get shared a while ago. Now I had the same reaction. I was like, oh well.
Okay.
That's pretty much where that came from. I think it was shared on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I saw someone share it in the Discord.
Yeah, because my thing with these wild animal scenarios, right? I'm thinking where it really is coming from, and I have to really conclude say this is something that was done pretty much either on TikTok or some YouTube. But now that I think about it, I think it's more done on TikTok because this is where all the weirdo stuff comes around.
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah, it is. I think it originated from TikTok, if I'm not mistaken.
and I'm not with it. I mean, especially
Yeah,
with TikTok.
I saw it and it's stupid. The only thing left to do is to just troll them, or if they really feel that way, then they can go.
Yeah, because I mean, TikTok of all places. That's where all the weirdo stuff. And look, here's Yogi the Bear. Look at this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
that's a
yeah,
beautiful troll, by the way.
yeah,
Because now I see those AI pictures of being them pictures are hilarious.
yeah. And this is something that I constructed. You get me?
That's
And
a
I
dope.
have
That's a dope
I had a
picture.
few of them. You know what I'm saying?
In a woman's mind, I can see that.
Yeah.
In
Yogi
that
the Bear.
smorgasbord of a mind, I can see it. Yogi Bear, and they're just having a whole relationship with a freaking bear. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they don't go to the Arctic. Just don't go to
He's
the
smarter
Arctic.
than the average bear.
Yeah. I hope they don't go to the Arctic because polar bears are the most dangerous ones. They'll eat anybody in anything. They don't care.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
they're, education and all.
They will. You're right about that. You know, they will sure.
Yeah. Polar bears are the worst of all.
Yeah, especially polar bears, because I know they eat like meat. Same
Yeah.
with grizzly eat, but I think polar bear, just the thing is because those are bears they scour for fish constantly.
Yeah.
They need to eat meat because their body requires a whole lot of fat. So they require a lot of calories. So I won't be
if you were to go ahead and list the dangerous bears, polar bear is number one.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, there was a video, and I wish I shared this, and I have it somewhere in my email of the most dangerous animals.
Yeah.
And bear was like, I think above top 20. I gotta double check. It's one of them, So
yeah,
they're up there. So when I'm hearing these conversations, I'm thinking, have y'all understand that when women talk about this, and if you didn't catch the stream earlier, I think you're here earlier. I said this is a form of fantasy. This is like cartoon animation. A lot of women watch too much Yogi Bear, too much Care Bears. Those little cute little animals. And now their mind is rationale that is saying, because they've been, let's say, dealt with men for so long, instead of getting either two things: actual mental help to really deal with these problems, besides protection, because really you gotta fix the mind first. Because if you think and feel like this constantly, and something that's happened to you in the past, there's no rationale come around this. That's why very few women, when they hear these conversations, they look at you as crazy, because they know why animals do to humans and what humans do to humans. And normally people online with humans, we're normally in proximity with other humans, especially when you're in a city. We're not talking about the city aspect. Said all the environments we see are in certain environments where we're more boxed in. But when I have this conversation.
Exactly. That's why I said this conversation is hogwash, and at the end of the day, there's nothing left to do except troll them. Just troll them back. Or if they really do feel that way, then go. There's really nothing else to say in trying to psychologize. Even though we'll tell them nine times out of 10, men are more likely to be assaulted by another man than a woman will. But hey, they don't want to hear that. They just want to let them get their feelings off and how they feel. And it's like, okay, whatever. There's sometimes you just have to be like, whatever, because they don't care, because at the same time, we don't get that same grace when we give in our plight. So it is what it is. Ain't nothing to say except whatever.
Hold on.
And that just comes with ignoring them. Just say whatever.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean, everyone?
All right. We could continue.
Yeah. At this point, I don't even care if they're lying or not.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're lying or playing. Like the only way to end the conversation is be like, okay, then go.
And see what the environment has to hold for you. Just
go find out. Oh yeah, you feel safe with the bear? Okay, you can go over there. Go over there to Wyoming or anywhere. Go to Alaska and go find out.
Yeah, they F around and possibly gonna find something worse, man. That's what you mean.
Because the messed up part is they forget they're talking to men. So when you say you're gonna do something, If men do this to other men, when you keep talking smack, at the end of the day, men are just gonna be like, all right, do it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But man,
They forget the that's the part is they're saying this to men and forget they're talking to men. At the end of the day, men are just gonna get tired of hearing your crap and tell you, okay, fine, if you feel that way, get the hell away from me. Any man would say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't want you feeling unsafe. So if I'm so unsafe, then go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think when you tell women that, they're really not gonna fix it. Women go away because they look for empathy, person, and they want men to really deal with the feelings. And personally, most men we deal with the rational and the logic. When we talk about human beings and animals, we're not really the same. So the really rational, especially if we talk about the real ones that could actually really take your life, like lions, bobcats, the ones that have claws and teeth,
even hyenas.
Oh, I don't want to talk about hyenas. Oh, especially when they come back. Oh, the hyenas.
Yes, even hyenas.
The best example to learn, and this is why I tell when most of us not watching these nature videos, whether on social media or on YouTube. I tell people, look how animals interact with humans. Is it always favorable in the end?
No, unless
we'll see non-blacks mess with them, but we know why they do, because they like to take a risk. They find
but the thing about that is those non-blacks you see messing with them, that's because they raised those animals when they were babies.
That too.
That's another thing too. So when you raise an animal, when you were there since they were born, that's different. You have a bond with that animal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're you ain't never met this animal a day in your life, yeah, you fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's no different with dogs. It's just like with dogs. You have to be there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. You got to be around them long enough. Yeah, if not,
Yeah, because I see those. I follow animal channels all the time. You be seeing these like trainers be hugged up on bear. Animal was a baby, and it's dope videos. It's cool, but yeah, because they had that bond.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like nobody, but these ladies talking about bears. I'm like, y'all ain't got no bonds with these bears. You food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, straight up food. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're straight up food for the animals. Yeah.
You're straight up food. Especially if you get in some bears. I think the grizzly bear, they're more likely to attack, but they like not so much if they're if you go near their fed, you go near their cubs. Oh yeah, you dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Especially they're very much protective. You can't go around.
Yeah, but it's this conversation. Yes, Chaos. I heard the frustration in your voice when you were speaking on the subject. Yes, it's gotten this bad. There's nothing left to say except okay.
Mm-hmm. Even with the lady I played, right, and she's trying to really rationalize her effery. I'm thinking, I think I might hear you, sweet, but overall, I mean, I can't rationalize that nonsense.
You can't. There is no rationalizing. You can't. There's nothing left to say.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say. I heard you gentlemen trying to rationalize with her before I even came up, and I'm like, yo, no, this woman does not want to hear logic. She just wants her feelings validated. That's all it is. They want to be validated.
Now the reasonable response would be this. And Jake Zero, if you want to come up, I'll put the chat room one more time for one more person to come up. I'm gonna do that. The more logic response would be, instead of saying what would be better, I'd rather woman be neutral, say, I'd rather be alone. Since I'm scared, I don't want to deal with it. That would make more sense. But instead to pick man and beast.
That's why I said I didn't even take it that far. I didn't even say alone. I'm like, if you really feel that unsafe, then hopefully you're in a state that that encourages that's cool on the Second Amendment. You get you a gun, get you a self-defense class, or get you a man. You in some states you could do all three. Mm-hmm. Well, you could do 2 out. You could do 2 out of 3 in most of the states.
Yeah.
Like, What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
You don't need a bachelor's degree for that. I promise you, you don't need an MBA.
But it's funny. I don't mind people talk about formal education, but in certain conversations, this is not where we're going to have the conversation of education.
That's
Because
why I
we're
didn't even
rational
entertain
people.
that conversation.
We're rational people. We all
Yeah.
know the difference between man and beast.
Yes, like we're not,
If me as a person, I say, for you to continue this conversation, I knew how far you went to school. I mean, that's like me saying to a woman, for you to talk about this issue, I need to know your education background.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's common sense.
Yeah, that she was only doing that because I was not feeding her the BS that she was feeding, that she was trying to feed y'all. I'm not buying into that crap.
Yeah,
No,
I can't buy that. I can't buy that.
I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into that crap. And you trying to emphasize with us. In other words, you want your feelings validated. I told you those are your options. If I have a sister. My sister, if that comes up in that conversation, my sister, I'm gonna tell her straight. I'm like, well, you can get a gun, you take self-defense class, or you can do that. Men ain't going nowhere. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell them the same. I will tell the same thing. Yes, I have a mother. I have a sister. If I don't have a daughter, if I have a daughter, I tell them the same thing to their faces. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole education crap was just a mean to deflect. I ain't buying into that crap. At the end of the day, you talking about being with some bears, but you questioning my education? But hey, it is what it is. It's a senseless conversation, and they're not really trying to have a conversation. Yeah. It's not what it is. This whole thing at the end of the day is a troll effort. It's all it is. If they really feel that way, then the only thing men can respond to is to dare them to go. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to go the way y'all think.
Okay.
It's not. You're not gonna reach a quote unquote peaceful. There's no peaceful. There's no rationalizing this. There's no rational. There isn't. There really isn't. Good on you guys for trying. I know we're men. We can't help ourselves. But these are just one of those conversations. There is no rationalizing.
Okay.
There isn't.
All right, guys. I guess no one else wants to come up, and not everybody else wants to donate to today's stream. I get it. This is not one of them conversations. I understand. I do appreciate the few people that did participate.
Did you get mine? Chaos?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna call out in a second. I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait a second. Do you think bear attack will go up a huge the bear challenge? Will it go up? I don't know. We should see. Only time will tell. Any closing remarks, guys?
So what he said. Only one way to find out. Yeah. Tell them to take themselves to the wilderness. If they really feel that way. Only one way to find out. Go ahead.
Any closing remarks, Hustle and Muscle?
This has got to be one of the weirdest topics you've ever picked so far, man. But it was a good one nonetheless. Good one nonetheless. Because it can't be for real. Who's going to shoot? If anything, a dog and a cat would have been more acceptable, but a wild bear? Seriously?
Nope. No, they're serious. But I'm like the only answer we can have is to be serious about it. Like, okay, then go.
Okay.
There's no rationalizing this.
I mean, she gonna be like Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
Yep.
Look for the bare necessity, the simple bare necessity.
All right, guys, let's stop. All
right,
about
your worries and your strife.
You want to be Tarzan.
All right. All right, thank you guys for coming up. Appreciate it.
Take it easy, Chaos.
Take it easy, Chaos.
Till next time.
Later.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Let me see.